professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a Scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. So I got to talk about this too because I do really agree with this. So let's go.
I think depression is a luxury.
Wow.
Because so you gotta go to work. You gotta get up. You gotta go do what you gotta do. You got people right now that's at work don't feel like being there, but they got responsibilities, so they feel uncomfortable while they're working, while they're doing what they gotta do. Like, and when these guys get in a slump and they just decide that they're not gonna do anything, I'm like, where they do that at?
Right.
Even when you're on the street, you got a pack. You just decide not to come outside.
Yeah.
They're gonna beat you. You're gonna beat to death. Wait till you come out.
So, generationally, I think we came up different. You know, I'm in Generation X. I guess my parents are boomers, and my grandparents were, I guess, the greatest generation, silent generation, one of those. And I was predominantly really raised by my grandparents. And looking at how things were when I was a kid and how they taught me and how things are now and the things I know, in people don't realize that some things to us are luxuries. Like depression is a luxury. Like I remember my granddad went to the Korean War and had to come back and take care of the family. He didn't have, time for PTSD. It didn't exist at the time, but he didn't have time for it. It's Jim Crow. It is what it is. Keep it. He got kids. He had a wife. He got kids. My grandmother, that particular grandmother, she had, is it 15 or 18 kids? I forget the number. I always forget the number. 3 of them lived. Really 4. But he died at 2. As a baby, I forget, something happened. I think he suffocated in his sleep, like rolled over on a pillow or something like that. But they kept trying and trying because she kept having miscarriages and losing babies. And though it was hurtful and hard, kept going. My other grandmother, when she was like, I'm gonna say 9, my great grandfather had cancer, and he told her, she got to take care of the family. Like my great grandmother was there, but she was like, she was the eldest of the siblings, and he basically died of cancer. And from that point on, she had the responsibility of being, big sis and mom. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but my granddad dropped out of school around the 5th grade to help the family. And my granddad, he was a merchant marine, so my other granddad. But his family was actually pretty well off. But here's the thing. And those people taught me that, look, no matter how you feel, you still got to get stuff done. You still got to go to school. You still got to get an education. You still got to have dreams and goals and aspirations. You still have to, fight to achieve those things. And yeah, at times, but you don't have the luxury to sit down and sulk, because when you're in a bad situation, you don't have the luxury to be depressed because you can't afford to be depressed. You can't afford to go, take the time off. You can't. And I think now, you can't afford to have anxiety, and I think now people don't understand that, because what they do is they put all of the weight on a particular person, and it's supposed to be a team effort. And what I mean by that is, I'm talking about, millennials, how a lot of y'all are in y'all emotions, and y'all have all these issues about feelings. But and you don't want to participate in life because of your feelings, but somebody else got to foot the bill. And the problem with that is they probably have more news than you. What you're going through is lightweight. And people don't take that into consideration and empathy for people, because that was another reason why, I don't have time to be depressed, because where I'm at right now, somebody went through hell and high water just to make it comfortable enough for me to be in this position to work from this point. I know where they came from, and it was far more difficult than where I'm at. And people just, I just don't want to do anything. And, going back to that quote where if you raise your kids, you can spoil your grandkids. But if you spoil your kids, you're going to have to raise your grandkids. Going back to that, spoiled kids don't deal with life well. And what winds up happening is they're entitled, and they're soft. And you could go through that, but, I can't. I'm not the type of person who could go through that. And the issue is this. The people that y'all think can go through all this adversity are forced to go through this adversity. And then that's all they know. You other people, you don't go through adversity because you run from it, because somebody else who's forced to deal with it has to deal with it. And you become a liability. And this is why they say like depression is a luxury, because you have the luxury to be a liability because you don't feel so well. While somebody else who doesn't feel so well has the responsibility of getting you through it. And people don't get it sometimes that, there are people who actually are depressed and need time. And a lot of times what you're seeing is people who are using depression and anxiety as a hustle, siphon the rightful time that's needed for somebody who's actually going through it, because they're selfish and lazy and entitled, and they're using this as a way to get over. So other people are like, nah. Because if I've seen people who actually went through it, have to push past it, and you didn't go through really anything, and you just stopped in your tracks, you quit at life. And that's not somebody else's responsibility to you up and drag you around because you quit at life. So to me, I agree with that. It's a luxury, because some of y'all don't actually really know what a struggle is. Y'all struggle is not struggling, or struggling for the first time at whatever age you're at. For a lot of people who have dealt with society in the harsh sense, what's normal for us is like foreign to you, because nothing's supposed to happen to your little cotton candy life. And if something happens, you just can't do anything until somebody comes and sweeps away all your problems. And that's trifling. But I'm done. Tell me what you like, share, subscribe, and I'll try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Oh, I'm tripping.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna say it to you.